Hey guys, it's Mo in the deep end, and Fry is making sure that the room is clear of dust bunnies and any other robblers, so he will be in and out of frame. And tonight we have some newsy news for you before we get into the Delphi stream after this. So, first on the docket or on the news, we have a real live, bear jamboree or bear that wanted to join the bear jamboree. A black bear sighting in a tree at Disney World triggered closings at the Magic Kingdom. Florida Fishing Wildlife Conservation Commission said Monday afternoon it successfully captured the adult female bear and will relocate it near Ascala National Forest. So, the bear wanted to enjoy the national or the most magical place on earth too, which, uh, bears apparently wanted to go see Mickey Mouse too, and better them than me. I would rather be hogtied and made to recite the Gettysburg Address while doing burpees than go to Disney World, so I'd rather the bear do it, to be honest. Good evening, Rabbit, and thank you, Eris, and Making Law Simple Network, for already doing a thumbs up and being here with us. So, sightings of a black bear at Florida's Disney World caused parts of the most magical place on Earth to temporarily close Monday afternoon, the theme park announced. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission said it safely captured the adult bear that was reported to be in a tree in Orlando's resort's Magic Kingdom around 1:30 p.m. Yes, Newsy News. NBC affiliate WESH of Orlando's helicopter captured aerial footage of what appeared to be the bear in a white tarp covered by multiple law enforcement agents moving out of a wooded area. In an update after 2 p.m. ET, the FWC said biologists with the agency's bear management program and FWC law enforcement officers had the animal. So, I mean, look, I do know that there were stories having kind of also nerded out on all things weirdly pop culture. I am having a Gareth Pursehouse moment here. And as per usual, and just as predicted in Babylon Bee, I have no bobby pins close to me. And this, gentleman, is why we have bobby clip pins or headbands everywhere, because we will have this moment where we don't have them. Uh, Quote, staff have captured the animal and are relocating the bear out of the park to an area in or around the Ocala National Forest, FWC said in an update. The bear was likely in search of food or people. No, I'm just kidding. Not people. Ahead of winter hibernation season, the FWC said Walt Disney World confirmed in an earlier statement that FWC staff were on site and working to capture the bear. The My Disney Experience app showed long wait times Monday afternoon amid the bear sighting. Temporary closed attractions in the Magic Kingdom included Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, Hall of Presidents. I'm sure the line to see the Hall of Presidents was the one that everyone was really upset about. Everyone was like, "No, history and politics. Damn, we can't go on that ride." The statue that looks weirdly like Hillary Clinton in a weird Donald Trump mask, or in a weird Donald Trump, wig. Dang it. Uh, a Pirate's Adventure, Liberty Square Riverboat, Tom Sawyer Island, Walt Disney World Railroad, including Fantasyland, Frontierland, and Main Street. Later in the afternoon, Walt Disney World said it was reopening Frontierland Liberty Square Adventureland at Magic Kingdom Park during the bear search. Okay, y'all, I have to ask though. So if you're a family that spent, oh, I don't know, half a bajillion dollars to go to this park during this time and you had to flee because of bareness, and bare necessities, do you get a refund, or is Disney like, "Suck it, we don't we can't control the bears that aren't animatronic. Uh, good luck with that," because I think the daily admission ticket is what, $150 per person? And then you generally have to buy, like, one of those, Disney Genies or a fast track app if you don't wanna spend hours just waiting in line and then food and everything else. Yeah, no. There are reasons that Mo would rather put pins in her eyeballs than go to Disney World, and that is because it is expensive, it is hot, it is waiting in line, it is weird people in costumes trying to hug you, and worst of all, and most upsetting to Mo, adult, childless Disney people. I don't get you. I love you if you love Disney, but I don't understand you. I don't get you. Look, I love that you love Disney, but God bless you. I don't understand it. To actively go to it, that's all I'm gonna say about it. I don't wanna take people off, but adult Disney fans who have no children and just go to the parks, I don't understand you. In the next story, missing ex-NFL player Sergio Brown may be with, Mr. Gutierrez and the missing, German Shepherd from the Karen Reed case. All of them are just down in Mexico partying, at least in my headcanon. Uh, but he appears to surface in Mexico with a bizarre rant after his mom's death was ruled a homicide. Murph's Turf sent me this last night, but I was too deep in what in the actual cradoodle is going on in Delphi and different things that are all linking up from sources that people are. I need all the registering, y'all. Ex-NFL player Sergio Brown, who went missing after his mother was found dead in a creek near her Illinois home, appears to have surfaced in Mexico in a bizarre video posted to Instagram, claiming he thought his mom was on vacation and he had been kidnapped by law enforcement. Okay, all right. You know what? I'm game to listen anymore. I I am game to listen. Give me all the man bear pig. I will listen anymore. The 35-year-old former player is believed to no longer be missing Tuesday after he was spotted in a bizarre Instagram story shared on in into player with passport, which appears to be a burner account for the player. Interesting. In the video, the former New England Patriots player addressed the news that his mother, Myrtle Brown, 73, was found dead near a creek behind her home. Sergio Brown said he thought his mother was on vacation and that he had been kidnapped by the FBI and the Maywood Police Department. He also made several claims of, quote, fake news, end quote, before going off on an incoherent rant during which he accuses the Maywood Police Department and FBI of kidnapping him twice from his home. I mean, after the Whitmer thing, I'm kind of like, you know, I I wouldn't put it past them. I mean, not that these faces make a, a sparkling case for reality either. I mean, these faces don't lend to credulity either. So it's half a dozen of one, six of the other. It swings and roundabouts. Neither side looks extremely credible. The feds or this guy making the weird faces. And as a person who has a face that goes to 11 and, always bold and capitalized, all caps. Sir, I sympathize, but I try to keep my face at least neutral if I'm going to try to tell a fairly interesting story. I'm just throwing that out there. Just I mean, this is not a place to get advice. I'm a mouthy redhead on the internet, but just a tip. Quote, "They kidnapped me twice from my home, the Mayfield Police Department," he said, before his words became muddled and unintelligible. Well, it looks like he's broadcasting from a tiki bar. I mean, is it possible, nay, probable, that there are some booze involved in these broadcasts? And she looks so elegant and beautiful here. I feel so badly for her. Quote, "It had to be the FBI or the Maywood police," he says into the camera as loud music blares in the background. "I thought my effing mama was on vacation." The video was allegedly taken and tagged with the location of Mexico City before being deleted and reposted without location, Deadspin reported. Whereabouts remain unclear. Even before he and his late mother disappeared, get out now. You know, shirtless boys are often a thing that happen on professional broadcasts too. Shut door, lock door, biometric lock. Explaining to Mr. Mo why we have a biometric lock on our credit card. You know what? Priceless. I don't know. I mean, it could be very possible. He did have a fairly long career, I believe about 6 years in the NFL. Again, not being a sports ball person, I don't know if that seems fairly long to me, especially being in an elite sports ball thing for me. Now, I am judging this as a person who cannot walk upstairs and not fall. I am fully certified like Joe Biden cannot walk upstairs or anywhere, and this is before I got injured, so but I do know he played for multiple teams, including, even my home state team, so it is very possible that he could have underlying health issues, exacerbated by, you know, being an elite athlete for a while. Let's see here. Cortez said he last saw or I'm sorry, Sergio Brown has been acting out of character for months, their neighbor Carlos Cortez told CBS2. Cortez said he last saw mother and son on Thursday, but police told him they spotted something unusual on the Ring doorbell camera. Yeah, that's kind of I feel a little awkward because 'cause I'm like, this is a sports ball, I have no idea." I'm like, he looks athletic to me." Uh, Quote, "They see him taking out the trash, they see him have a bonfire where he burned all her clothes," Cortez said. The abnormal behavior was apparently been typical for Sergio Brown in the recent months, Cortez said, adding that he spoke to the slain woman's relatives who said her son had been, quote, "out of his mind," end quote. The police are aware of the video purportedly shared by Brown on Tuesday. Okay, Maywood police detectives are aware of the video that has surfaced on social media in relation to Mr. Sergio Brown, who is still considered a missing person, and we are also looking into its authenticity. Maywood Police Department Public Information Officer Carmen Riviera told, I wanted to say Carmen San Diego, but that would have been wrong. Told the Post. Sergio Brown is known for his career in the NFL spanning from 2010 to 2016 when he retired from professional football. The former safety appeared for 94 games for the New England Patriots, Indianapolis Colts, Jacksonville Jaguars, and Buffalo Bills. He and his mother were reportedly reported missing by his family on Saturday, prompting a search throughout the village of Maywood that ended in the discovery of Myrtle Brown's body. He has not been named a suspect in his mother's death, which has been ruled a homicide. A rep for Sergio Brown declined to comment when reached out by the Post. The Maywood Police Department has actively or is actively investigating the case and asked anyone with information regarding Sergio Brown's whereabouts to contact the anonymous tip line. Obviously, if any of you guys have any information, this is the number. Please call them because they need help and he sounds like he might need some help. So, if you guys know anything, you might any 11 of you know all these things, please let someone know because they need to know. We have no idea where he went. In other news, if you are in South Africa, keep an eye out on the water. A freak wave crashes into South African restaurant, sweeping a child out to sea. Um, you know, the more I see the news, the more I am okay with pulling a Jamie and never leaving my house. You know, staying in our houses is safe. It is normal. It's like the more I see the news, the more I'm okay being an introvert and the safety of our house is okay.
Not answering your phone, so they're calling me.
One second, guys. Apparently, no one can talk to anyone else but me. Okie dokie. So let's see here. Where were we? Several people were injured, and our child was reportedly swept out to sea. Apparently, they do not have any questions about, they don't tell if they found the kid or anything. Well, that's upsetting. Yeah, he's not a suspect, but he is acting super sus. But yeah, I'll definitely be staying in my basement. I am, it seems like nature is just trying to get rid of us, so I am staying in my home, in my basement, in my comfy little place. Hello, Christine. I hope you're having a good day. And in other news, regardless of how much you'd like to meet Prince Charles, you cannot climb over the walls to Buckingham Palace. Apparently, these are things that we need to be taught again. London police arrest a man who allegedly climbed over a wall near Buckingham Palace stables. So, send a letter, knock first, I guess, ask the guys who stand out front and don't smile. You know, apparently there are formal ways to ask if you would like to get an invitation, but they do not include trying to climb over the stable walls, which is, apparently how one should not do it. London Uh, London police arrested a 25-year-old man early Saturday morning after he allegedly climbed over a wall and entered the royal stables at Buckingham Palace. Well, he just wanted to meet the horses. He didn't really want to meet the king. I can sort of understand. Horses, yes. King Charles, I can understand. The man was detained at 1:25 a.m. Saturday for trespassing on a protected site, London's Metropolitan Police Service said in a statement. He was taken to a London police station where he remained by late morning. The officers found the man outside the royal stables following a search of the area. He didn't enter the palace or its gardens at any time, the police said. Look, he just wanted to see the horses. I mean, who doesn't? They all look fun, and maybe he wanted to see the queen's old corgis. I mean, look, they look like fun little doggies. I can understand. Buckingham Palace, which is some 300 years old, is undergoing renovations. King Charles III does not live there. Well, how rude. We make this palace all for him, and he doesn't even live there. The monarch was in Scotland on Saturday. So he wasn't even there, so really he shouldn't even be charged. I mean, he just wanted to see the horses. He wasn't even there when he broke in. This Robler was obviously terrible. I say we give him a pass. Auntie Mo approved. I think that's how it works. If no one was there, Winosaur, I ask myself these questions all the time. I am never sure why I'm awake, but I'm like, but what can I do on YouTube and how can I waste my time? And in other news, in weird and craziness, we go to law and crime because law and crime has all the craziness. A true crime lawyer allegedly extorted a prison nurse through fake murder for hire plot against husband at the behest of Tinder match dismemberment killer on death row. Now, that sentence makes has a lot of words, and almost none of it goes together to make any sort of sense, but I'm sure the article will help us make sense of all of that because that sounds like a whole lot of hot mess. So let's figure it out. A true crime book writer from Lincoln, Nebraska, working on a project about a 2017 dismemberment murder of 24-year-old Cindy Loof allegedly developed a romantic interest with the Tinder killer inmate responsible for the horrific crime and extorted a corrections nurse at his behest before he was even sentenced to death row. Well, that is awesome. Nothing like falling in love with, a dismemberer. Ladies, do better. Don't pull a Sal. If he's convicted or, accused of all the choppy, no datey, okay? I feel like we shouldn't have to say this, but it's 2023, and apparently we have to say this. Salbert, same thing, but in reverse. If she's accused of all the choppy, no datey. Oh my goodness. Okay. The investigation into Samantha Al-Rebecki, 55, began in March 2021 after another inmate reported a romantic interest between her and Aubrey Trail, now 57, and came forward with information about a compromised nurse, ABC affiliate KLKN reported. The nurse who reportedly left the Nebraska Department of Correctional Service Reception and Treatment Center job in March 2021 had allegedly been manipulated by Trail into smuggling a phone and chewing tobacco behind bars. Interesting. Did she use her prison pocket or did she just use her purse or Gareth Purse House? Hmm. I I don't even wanna know what they used to compromise her. An affidavit reportedly detailed that Trail successfully learned personal details about the nurse's home life and used her unhappy marriage with the help of Al Rebecki to convince her that there was an active murder for hire plot against the nurse's husband. State authorities, with the benefit of the nurse's December 21st 2021 interview with the FBI, reportedly alleged that Al Rebecki committed theft by extortion, getting closer to the victim because they were true crime buffs, spending time bonding over that commonality at the suspect's residence. Trail allegedly told the nurse about a hit and convinced her that only $25,000 could call it off. So basically, they told this nurse, "Look, we found out that your husband's going to get whacked, and if you don't have 25K, it's going to happen. So you need to pay me and this chick who writes murder books this money." This seems like all the shenanigans. Al Rebecca is accused of taking a ride with a nurse to the bank where the then corrections employee withdrew the funds in February 21. As the nurse was withdrawing the money, largely from retirement savings, Al Rebecca was allegedly on the phone with Trail, keeping him updated. Okay, nurse, ma'am, nurse, miss, madam. Sir is a convicted convict who already got caught, and other heifer. I mean, can we look at this dude? How is she falling in love with Humpty Dumpty, Bill Dauterive from King of the Hill? I mean, uh, d why? What? When? How? I need all of these answered. I need this, ma'am, I need you to come to the front of the classroom and explainarate yourself, because this don't make no sense. Now, either he has a fun way with the wordiness and he's a Lothario of the wordiness, but what the actual crap? This dude looks like Humpty Dumpty and Bill Toadtree had a baby from King of the Hill, and I cannot. But okay, let's continue. I mean, he must be a damned poet, 'cause he done, like, slice and diced some lady from Tinder who was super attractive. Lincoln Journal Star reported that investigators have Al Rebecca on recordings with Trail talking about being crazy that the nurse was, quote, "gonna get her pension out just to give it to us." Al Rebecca allegedly commented that the nurse's first mistake was smuggling in a phone for Trail. When reportedly confronted as recently as April by Nebraska State Patrol investigators, Al Rebecca allegedly admitted she was the person on those recordings, but the suspect claimed that she and Trail were joking about the extortion plot. She further claimed that she too was manipulated by the death row inmate. She was scared that the death row inmate would target her and her inmate son with violent. Lord, she has an inmate son. Okay, ma'am, ma'am. With violence next, according to her reported version of the story. Judging by the felony charge Al Rebecca faces, the alleged facts were no laughing matter to the authorities. Under Nebraska law, theft by extortion is committed when a person, quote, obtains property, money, or other things of value by or of another by threatening to, quote, inflict bodily injury on anyone or commit any other criminal offense. Again, this romance is more this this is about like the romance between, oh gosh, Darren Ruben Lopez and Jennifer. I just yuck. I don't want to imagine the Smexic letters that are going to come out, but I will read them and laugh and giggle because this can be all the cringe hilarious. But I don't get it. So she was writing a true crime book. Let me see if I have this straight. She was writing a true crime book, and she looked into these watery, jaundiced eyes and fell in love with this potato head. I'm sorry, guy. And, she looked into his watery, jaundiced eyes and, the soul of a killer and thought, "You know, this is the guy that I am going to commit a felony for." Several. "Ma'am, what in the actual ever living Romeo and Juliet?" Al Rebecki was arrested Sunday and appeared in court for the first time on Monday, resulting in a $5,000 bond in the case. A Lancaster jail search did not show her in custody. Well, I guess she was able to bond out with $500. Aubrey Trail was sentenced to death in June 2021 after luring Sidney Loof through Tinder to his apartment with the help of his accomplice girlfriend. Oh, I remember this. He and his girlfriend lured some woman off of Tinder and all the gross. Again, how this Humpty Dumpty potato man continues to get women's around him, but they do, and he lured this girl to his apartment with the help of his much younger girlfriend, who I believe posed as possibly wanting to do something. I believe the girlfriend posed more as the Tinder date than him. I think it was kind of a coupley thing if I don't remember the exact who went on to receive a life sentence of her own in November 2021. So that's her. Together, the convicted killers dismembered the store clerk's body and disposed of the victim's remains in trash bags that were left in rural Nebraska. At sentencing, nearly 2 full years after Aubrey Trail slashed his own throat in court, well, if you're gonna do something dramatical, do it, super dramatical, and loudly insisted on Bailey Bosley's innocence. So apparently Bailey Bosley was, the girlfriend. So he decided that he was going to fall on his own sword all by his own self and acknowledged he's done, quote, "some terrible things in his life." Well, sir, understatement might be your forte. The killer said his girlfriend, Boswell, lured Loof to his apartment by matching on Tinder because they wanted her to join their cult. Okay. Instead, Trail claimed that Luft freaked out and he decided to kill her because he was worried she would tell authorities about the lifestyle which he and Boswell were living. Well, let's figure out what lifestyle they were living. During Boswell's trials, witness testified that she and Trail spoke of, quote, gaining powers, end quote, by killing innocent people. It was also alleged that Trail boasted about killing Loof's blood and bragged about her strangulation murder carried out with an electrical cord. At the time, Trail said he could care less about what happens to him. More recently, he sought to speed up his execution. The judge was not convinced he had the right to die on demand. Well, well, he sounds like a swell guy, and I mean, who wouldn't want to date him? I mean, it, it boggles. It boggles the mind why he doesn't have more suitors wanting to commit felonies for him, although he seems to attract them quite easily by himself. So, for all of those of you who are looking for love, well, hope springs eternal if Humpty Dumpty Bill Dotrieve man can find not only love eternal, but accomplices in major felonies, many times over. So, you know, hang in there, y'all. Your your felony accomplices are out there somewhere. dear Lord. Oh my good what is wrong? Yeah, there's not even booze in this one. I can't even s I can't even say, this is probably a function of booze in a boat. No, these people were probably sober. There is no excuse. Um, Possibly stay away from relationships that require you to commit felonies, though. This is not an advice channel, but I'm gonna throw that one out there. In one of our last stories, India expels Canadian diplomat after Justin Trudeau accuses India in assassination. I don't know what the heck happened that made Justin Trudeau accuse India of assassinating someone, but let's see here because this is all the spicy. And usually Justin Trudeau only really cares about his hair. So let's see. He doesn't do mainly super serial things, I've noticed. Uh, India expelled senior Canadian diplomat Tuesday on uh, one day after Prime Minister Justin Trudeau accused the South Asian nation of being involved in the June assassination of prominent Sikh leader in British Columbia. Hmm, interesting. India's Ministry of External Affairs issued a statement saying it informed Canada's High Commissioner Cameron McKay of its decision to banish the official, who was not named in the statement but was identified by media outlets as Oliver Sylvester, who serves as the Canadian Intelligence Agency station chief in India. Well, there you go. Canada will no longer be in India. India's government gave the official 5 days to leave the country, marking a new low point in relations following Ottawa's Monday ejection of Indian official in connection with the killing of Khalistani leader. Oh my. Okay. Harjeep Singh Nijjar. Look, y'all, I am trying not to butcher this name, but this is the gentleman's name who happened to pass away, and I feel very badly for him. I'm sorry he passed away or was killed. And I also don't want to add to his family's pain by butchering his name. In India's statement, which is circulating on social media, the ministry accused Canadian diplomats of meddling in India's domestic affairs and working to undermine the country's standing on the world stage. Look, India, it's just Canada accusing you. I'm just joking, all my Canadian people. I love you. It's just a joke. We're American. We're also a deeply silly country, too. Have you seen our resident in chief? The decision reflects government of India's growing concern that interference of Canadian diplomats in our internal matters and their involvement in anti-India activities, the statement says, providing no details. Trudeau announced the allegations Monday from the floor of the House of Commons. Yeah, that's kind of a big old, you know, dong swinging kind of thing to say. That would be like, again, Joe Biden going to the House or to the floor of Congress and saying that Britain decided to assassinate Britney Spears. I mean, not the same exact thing, but to give a little bit of a point of reference. Um, that'll probably happen next week. It's a joke. Uh, Stating he had personally and directly informed the Prime Minister, Modi of the charges during the Group of 20 summit in New Delhi earlier this month. Dongress. I'm stealing that, and that shall forever be its name for now on, especially since you can wear Speedos and shorts and apparently a G-string forever and ever. Probably. During his remarks, Trudeau said that there were credible allegations of a potential link between the Indian government and Nijar's killers while calling on Modi's government to fully cooperate with the investigation. In the strongest terms possible, I continue to urge the government of India to cooperate with Canada to get to the bottom of this matter, he said. Nijar was shot to death inside a vehicle while in a parking lot of the, oh, for the love of Cheetos, Guru Nanak Gurdwara Sikh Temple, where he served as president in Surrey, BC. Police said the 45-year-old was shot multiple times. US officials have not commented on Canada's accusation, which comes as the United States is shoring up its relationship with India. US President Joe Biden announced an extensive package of defense and technology agreements during Modi's state visit to the White House in June. Despite human rights challenges, the US considers India a key ally amid rising tensions in Southeast Asia, where China is becoming more aggressive toward its neighbors. Nijar, meanwhile, was an outspoken supporter of Khalistan, a movement that seeks to create a separatist homeland for Sikhs in India's Punjab region, and led a peaceful protest against human rights violation committed by India against believers of his minority religion, according to the World Sikh Organization. The Indian government has labeled Najjar a terrorist on accusations of being the leader of Khalistan militant separatist group. Though no specifics were offered, Trudeau on Monday said Canadian security agents have for weeks been pursuing credible allegations linking agents of the Indian government with Najjar's killing. Any involvement of foreign government in the killing of Canadian citizen on Canadian soil is an acceptable violation of our sovereignty. It's contrary to the fundamental rules of a free, open, democratic societies to conduct themselves. Sir, look, I'm not one to throw stones because I'm from America where we drone strike everyone without due process. But I just I don't think you should be throwing stones right now, sir. As you would expect, we've been working closely and coordinating with our allies on this serious matter. After Trudeau spoke, Foreign Minister Melanie Joly told reporters during a press conference they had expelled the head of research and analysis wing, which is India's foreign intelligence agency in Canada. Why does India have a foreign intelligence agency in Canada? That's a question. Today, we are acting by expelling a key diplomat, but we will get to the bottom of this, she said, reiterating that she expels India or expects India's full cooperation. Yeah, that's not going to happen. India's foreign ministry has rejected Canada's accusations as absurd and said the allegations Trudeau made to Modi at the G7 were completely rejected. I thought he was going to say something else, R word, but the ministry accused Canada in the statement of sheltering Khalistani terrorists and extremists and said Ottawa inaction has been a long-standing and continuing concern. It urged Canada to take legal action against all anti-India elements operating from their soil. The space given in Canada to the range of illegal activities, including murders, human trafficking, and organized crime, is not new, it said. We reject any attempts to connect the government of India to such developments. The World Sikh Organization said for months prior to Najjar's death, he had spoken publicly about the threat to his life and he was targeted by Indian intelligence agencies. The organization said the significance of Trudeau's announcement for the Sikh community cannot be understated. It should now be clear to all Canadians that the government of India is a terrorist state. So basically, maybe and perhaps. And again, as a redhead who, speaks into a microphone from her fairly safe, bedroom in the Midwest. But maybe world politics is a very weird, complex, and crazy thing, and maybe us Westerners don't understand the very deep and, complex and historical things that are going on in other countries, and maybe it's a little bit arrogant that we try to stick our noses in every daggone thing that goes on around the world, and we should just possibly keep our noses out of everything for just a couple years and see how the world goes, on without us, trying to inject our big old noses into things while we don't have our own backyards fixed. That's just my idea. And on the final note, to make us laugh, and from the Babylon Bee, who I do believe struggles daily to find satire in the world, we have Lauren Boebert attempts to smooth things over with a new line of purity rings from the Babylon Bee. So obviously not true, but it would be hilarious, and I wish she would do it because, oh my gosh, can we just need this 2023? Rifle, Colorado, in an attempt to appease evangelical voters who were disgusted by her display of promiscuity at the Buell Theater in downtown Denver. U.S. Congresswoman Lauren Boebert has announced a brand new line of purity rings. Celibacy is near and dear to my heart, said Boebert. I just want to inspire a new generation of American youth to celebrate celibacy in style and vote Republican while they're at it. Voters in Colorado's 3rd district, with which Boebert serves as a representative, remain divided on whether they're more upset by the highly publicized behavior that got their congressional representative thrown out of Beetlejuice the musical, or the fact that Beetlejuice the musical exists. And it's popular, a local voter asked Spears, "Who the hell is watching this thing?" At a public town hall, Boebert once again apologized to her constituents for her behavior before pivoting to selling her new rings. And I'm not only the designer, I'm a proud customer, Boebert told the voters as she slipped on a stylish ring. I hereby pledge to save myself for true love and marriage. According to sources, Boebert then leaned over to an aide and whispered, "Is that what I was supposed to say?" The Purity Ring collection, called Purity by Lauren, comes in 14 karat gold and is a Hobby Lobby exclusive. So that is what I have for you tonight on Newsy News. And I'm going to take a quick, well, 10-minute break, and then I will be back to go into more of the Delphi case memorandum. And that'll be probably an hour to an hour and a half, because I am all the caffeined up. And then tomorrow I will be doing an afternoon stream, probably with Nicholas, and we're going to go into what is actually a Frank's hearing with an actual lawyer and doing some actual real lawyer questions with an actual lawyer about the Delphi thing. And, you know, so I will see you in just a little bit. I am going to use the restroom. I will be back in just a little bit. I'll see you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like and subscribe if you haven't, and share with your friends if you think they'd enjoy it. I have enjoyed it immensely. I will see you in just a little bit. Bye, guys.